What's up, lads and ladettes? How are we all doing today? I hope you guys are doing fantastically well. So today, I want to talk about hunting for markup. I want to talk about sort of what goes into it, the little bit of research you should do, and, just the general, what is markup, how do you figure out what exactly you want to hunt, and all that different stuff. And today we're going to be using two different tools to help us with this. We're going to be using the auction house, but we're also going to be using the Entropia wiki. Hopefully it brings it up, because I have my thing recording the actual screen, so hopefully this will, it'll actually do the thing that I want it to do, hopefully. Anyway, so, when you're playing Entropia Universe as a hunter, one of the main things that you're going after is markup. And you might be thinking, well, what exactly is markup? When you hunt a mob and kill a mob, it will drop loot. It will drop shrapnel and it will drop its other loot. So shrapnel and all the other loot are sort of classed differently. The shrapnel, you're always going to get shrapnel. Okay, you're always going to get shrapnel. But the other stuff, which they like to dub optimal loot, is things that you're going to be getting that's not shrapnel. Best way to explain it. Alright, best way to explain it. And now, some of the more common things that you're going to get are going to be the animal muscle oils, the various robot parts, tearing components, socket components, hides, and fragments. The Nova fragments and the Blazar fragments. I will be talking about that as well, but first we're going to sort of look at stuff. So one of my favorite things to do is kind of just to come to the auction house and to go to orders. Go to orders and see what people want. See what people are actively going, I want this. And I tend to go markup from lowest to highest, and then I just keep going until I get to an area that I feel relatively comfortable with. So let's say I feel comfortable around this sort of area, okay? So around the 115% mark, I can then see, okay, what things that I can I get from hunting are sought after. So let's see, animal brain oil. Per brain oil, it's 19 PED, so that would be an extra 2 whatever PED on top, but it's relatively difficult to find, I'm guessing. And of course, if you wanted to, you could wait and sell it for a little bit more, but I like to use this as sort of a guide to, okay, what do people want. Now, a lot of the orders are ingots and things like that, but when you go up a little bit more into close to the 100 mark and above, you're going to see a lot of things like the output amplifier components. Okay, so you got the output amplifier components. Very, very cool. And these guys sell for a good amount of markup and for a decent load of it. Okay, and the markup for this is currently sitting really well at the pretty damn spot on for the actual orders. And of course, if we go down, we can see that the tier 2 components are again sitting pretty close to the 200% for them for the buy orders and all that sort of stuff. And then if we continue to go up and up and up and up, we'll see things like we'll see things like the tier 4 components, which are from some higher level mobs. Yeah, we'll see the tier 4 components. We'll also see these Blazar fragments. Right now, this guy wants a good amount for 5 ped, or 5.5 ped per K. You can sell them for 3.5, or, sorry, not 3.5, 7 to 7.5 ped per K for the Blazar fragments. Now, one that I cannot seem to see, and I'm guessing because there is none of them selling, is the Nova fragments. So let me just find Nova fragments. See the lowest. yeah, so we got some these Nova fragments here, and right now they are selling for 1.3 ped per K, and they're selling, you know, a decent amount per week. Okay, there's a decent quantity being moved each week, which is, you know, is good. The reason why these are less markup is because they're easier to find. Like, they're really easy to find. You can find them from the punies here at Camp Icarus. They're really easy to find. Okay. So now that we know sort of generally what people are wanting and all that sort of stuff, we can then start to think, okay, what can I go out and hunt? Let's say I want to look for Nova fragments because I'll be able to sell them really well. I'll be able to sell them, and maybe I also want to find. I want to get tier 2 components. You know, let's say you're a low-level guy and, you know, you're only working with an LR10, or you're still working with the the TT stuff, or you're working with the low-level dailies, like daily weapons. So you might be thinking, okay, what can I hunt that has that sort of stuff, right? And that's when you will then come to the Entropia wiki page. Okay, so the Entropia wiki page is my favorite tool because I'm able to go, okay, I want to be on Calypso, and then I could be like, okay, I want to look at the mobs that I want to hunt. So then I click on the creatures, and it will bring up all these mobs, right? It will load up, and you can click on all, and it will display all of them. And you're able to sort them by different stuff, which is really good. But what I want to do is I want to sort it by minimum HP. What is the smallest HP for these mobs? Like, what mobs have the smallest HP? And I can have a look at this and go, okay, these mobs, minimum HP of 10, and then it goes up to 13, then 17, and on and on and on, okay? So if we have a look at the Burryclids, which are right around Camp Icarus, we can get a good idea of the things that they drop. Okay, so if we have a look, we can see that right now, as of, you know, these are pretty recent updates. Okay, these are pretty recent updates. We can have a look and go, okay, the punies, you know, 10 HP. The puny Burryclids are dropping Nova fragments. That's pretty cool. They're dropping animal muscle oil. They're also dropping some small guns and all that sort of stuff that you might be able to sell, or you might be able to just say, hey, can I trade this for, you know, I'd like to trade this for sweat, you know, something that you could save up and then sell, you know, completely up to you, or you can use the guns. That is 100% up to you. Completely. Right, so let's say, you know, you're fresh off the boat, right at Camp Icarus. You can have a look at these Burryclids and go, yeah, I wanna hunt the puny Burryclids, right? And again, you can come to click on these things here, and you can change the maturity, and it goes from high to low instead of low to high with the first click. So you gotta click it and then click it again. It's a whole thing. Then you gotta find the punies. You know, it is what it is. Come on. Go all. And you can come down, find the punies. Why it goes young to stalker then to punies, I don't know. So you can have a look at the punies, and we can see all the stuff that they're dropping at the moment, and things like this basic target assessment unit says it's no longer dropping, then you know that it's no longer dropping. Okay. Now, I would very, very, very much ignore anything that's in the deep red, right? I only focus on things that are white or very, very close to being white, okay? Because paint can orange on a puny creature, not since version 12. So, make sure you keep an eye out for that. But all this stuff that's in the, you know, the white and all that sort of stuff, you can pretty much say, okay, that's dropping. But let's say that you want to not just get Nova Fragments and Animal Muscle Oil. You want to get Nova Fragments, but you also want to get stuff that isn't Animal Muscle Oil, stuff that has more markup to it. Okay? So what I would recommend is just having a bit of a browse. Okay? Having a bit of a browse. One of the ones that a lot of people go to are Snabble Snot Males. Okay? A lot of people turn to the Snabble Snot Males for a few different things. The smallest maturity only has 20 hit points, but they drop things like orange paint cans, which sell for, I think, around 200 something %. And they have Nova Fragments, which, again, sell pretty decently. But it also has what people call a big money item. Okay? They have a big money item on them. And they have a chance to drop a shopkeeper pad. Now, shopkeeper pads can sell for 4,000 PED. They sell for quite a bit, but they are extremely, extremely rare. Okay? They're extremely rare. So a lot of people, once they move away from Camp Icarus, might travel up to... we're at Camp Icarus here. They'll travel... If they've got a Slipner, they'll just fly up. They'll come to this place, Camp Phoenix, and Camp Phoenix has Snabble Snot males and females pretty much everywhere. It's quite good. Or they'll try to just target the Snabble Snot males and females that are just north of Port Atlantis. You know, it makes sense, okay? It makes sense. But let's say you want even better than that for the common stuff that you can get. Let's say you're not all too fussed in having hope for a shopkeeper pad. You just want the best bang for your buck without praying to get a shopkeeper pad, right? You want to get the most out of it. I would personally for small hunts or low amounts of PED, I would recommend Shinkaba. I would recommend Shinkaba. And we'll have a look at the item pool, and then you'll kind of understand why I like to go with the Shinkabas, okay? So if we have a look at just this stuff here, we can see, and I'll just go all. Come on, load up. First we can see that the youngs have 30 health points, so it's not a lot more than your punies, right? If you can kill punies in 2-3 shots, then you can kill these guys in 5-6 shots. It's not too bad, okay? But if we have a look at the stuff that drops, there's a lot. There's a lot to, kind of look at. For starters, they also drop orange paint cans and Nova Fragments, but they also drop basic leather extractors. Now, I'm fairly certain basic leather extractors also drop from the female Snabble Snots. But I see a lot more Nova Fragments and orange paint cans dropping with the Shinkabas. Okay, I see a lot more of that dropping with the Shinkabas. But they also have a lot of equipment drops. Like a good amount of equipment drops. And of course, if you're working with an LR10, you can, or an LR15 or whatever, you can go ham on these guys. It doesn't really matter. It's all good in the hood, right? Well, we can see that Pixie Thigh Guards drop from the Youngs. We can see that this Markup's Callus 1 also drops from the youngs. Let's have a look at this weapon and see what sort of stats it works with. So if we have a look, it does 38 attacks per minute, and it averages out at 21. I say average. Its maximum damage seems to be 21 HP. Damage per second 13.3. So you have a chance of finding an okay low-level gun. Not the greatest of efficiency, but it is what it is. But you're also able to get things like this regen chip 1 and all that good stuff, right? All that good stuff. So there's a good amount of stuff in the Shingabas that you can look at and go, okay. So if you're going to be hunting stuff, make sure you're going onto the wiki and checking things out. Okay, so I'm probably going to be leaving it there. I think we have a good grasp of why hunting for markup is important. Because when you loot a mob, the game only takes into account the TT value of the thing. It doesn't take into account the markup of the thing, right? So if it's calculating just the TT value, then getting something like a Nova Fragment, which has pretty much no TT value, it's going to be almost classed, in my eyes at least, as a freebie. It's like finding fruit, it's like sweating. It's a freebie, in my opinion, right? Because there's no actual TT value to it. And then there's, things like the paint cans, there's things like the oils and all that good stuff that then boosts things up. Now, of course, once you get into, once you get a little bit more into it, and you're like, okay, I want to go, I want to dive into things a lot more. You can look at mobs that drop unlimited pieces of equipment, right? We can look at, let's look at the Argonauts, because I do believe that they drop an amplifier from memory, but they also drop, I believe it's a skill implant. So, come on, Argonaut. Come on. Come on. Come on. You can do it. Alright, while that loads up, we're also going to load up, if I can find it, we're going to load up the foul, and we're also going to load up, we'll load up the A-Tracks. Why not? Alright, so the foul, they've got more health points and all that sort of stuff. They do 100% impact damage. So, you can see all of that sort of thing. You can see it all. It's pretty good. But if we have a look at the stuff that they have dropped, we'll bring this up. Come on. Go to all. I know you've got it in you. The wiki can be a little bit slow. Can be a bit slow. We can scroll down to here, and we could see that the young drops unlimited regen chips. Specifically the unlimited regen chip 3. And it's really easy to kind of find these. They're not super duper rare. Even though it says rare, they're not super duper rare. These guys also drop bore armor. They drop, they drop tier 2 components. They drop some good stuff. So these are a good one to go for as well. And I like them. They're a decent one to go after. They're a decent one to go after. So yeah, regen chip 3. Yeah, it's really nice. And then yeah, these guys drop from mature Boryclids and from fouls and all that sort of stuff. If we then have a look at, say, the Argonauts from young and above, we can see that these guys drop basic leather extractors from the gatherers and above. But they also drop things like the stone extractors, which is really good. They drop iron stone as well, which you can use in your own crafting for different stuff. I like that. Yeah, it makes me happy to see some ore and end matter in certain loots and things like that. Come on, load up. So yeah, if we scroll down, we could see that these guys have in the past dropped an A101. Now, this isn't ridiculously long ago, so you know how I said just ignore things that are in the red? More ignore things that are in the red part, like before the FEN stuff, you know? Sort of before the FEN stuff, I like to ignore. I have heard that the Omegaton A101 is still dropping, so that's pretty cool. And the A101 sells pretty decently for a good amount. So that's an unlimited one that you can get and then sell. And they also have a whole bunch of... They have regen chips, but they also have restoration chips, which have really good markup. You know, they, like I said, they have the basic leather extractors, basic stone extractors. They got some good stuff on them, so if you're willing to, like, if you're spending a little bit extra, that can be a good one. The A-Tracks, we have a look at the A-Tracks. Get all of the stuff for the A-Tracks. Come on, load up. You can do it. Come on. So we can have a look at the A-Tracks, and again, it's not ridiculously powerful, so anyone using an LR, you know, LR20, 25, and, you know, has okay armor will be able to handle these guys quite fine. These guys drop some Shogun stuff, and a empty skill implant drops from them, tier 6 components drop from them, apparently tier 3s, and all that sort of stuff. Apparently shopkeeper pads can also drop from these guys, so that's pretty nice. And A102, there's some good stuff. There's some good stuff. So you basically got to pick and choose. How much am I spending? How many mobs do I want to cycle through? Because that's also an important factor. Do you want to cycle through? You know, if you've only got 300 PED or 100 PED to play with, do you want to go after the smaller HP mobs so you have way more loot opportunities? I think so. You know, but if you're going to be spending, you know, 3,000 PED, do you want to be spending that killing the super low level mobs that might not give you anything, you know, that don't give as good stuff? I think not. I think you're going to want to go after the higher level stuff for the off chance of, like, for the better chance of getting unlimited items and all that sort of stuff, because unlimited items sell for a good amount. So anyway, I'm going to be leaving it there now, guys. I hope this video wasn't too convoluted. That's basically hunting for markup in a nutshell. You basically want to do a little bit of research, and then you want to pick your mob. You also want to make sure you're doing good damage per peck, so you want to be killing the mob for as little as possible to maximize the amount of... not only maximize the amount of loot instances, but also increase the chance that the mob will drop the optimal loot that you're looking for. But there's a lot of videos out there on whether or not it does or doesn't matter, but I'm going to say it does, okay? You want to kill the mob for as little as possible, because more mobs killed means higher chances of getting stuff. Anyway, guys, it's been 25 minutes. I'm going to leave it there. You'll stay safe, stay healthy and happy, and I'll see you all in the next one.